for forever, but
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to get you on because you were like the first guy I had on in the show. So I
Hell
was
yeah.
like, you know what? All right. I think we are live though. And welcome in, guys, to another episode. And I am trying to figure out why in the world Streamlabs is freaking out. Now we're normal. But welcome back in. This is episode 75. We got a couple two different nerds in here, although they are familiar faces. And it's good to have you guys. I think, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I think low-key upgraded on the team compared to what it usually is. So I'm sure there's no offense taken there. Although we have gotten a lot hairier on the panel, as you can see.
Yes.
I'm thinking about cutting mine off, actually.
Oh my gosh!
Not like all the way, but like short, like lose all of this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine Curtis without a beard?
Didn't you shave it one year?
I haven't.
Didn't you
it
like?
hasn't
No,
been
you messed
shaved.
up shaving and like you ended up with like.
No, 2014. It was 2014 was last time. It was like basically not there.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Well,
yeah, I think that was the year that I shaved it off into a mustache only for my hard card photo.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's been wild. But yeah, you guys have been you guys have known each other for a couple of years at least, right? You know, a couple.
Too long. Yeah.
Yeah, a little while.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that live under a rock, this is Andy Hateley, the Drift Wizard, former Drift Pro driver, driving an orange E36. That's E46 in the background there, and then you got Curtis, the guy that makes the car work. Sometimes, you know, most of the time.
Pretty much
Always
always. Yeah, unless I'm at the beginning of the season, I make the car work for Long Beach, and then the rest of it is basically Curtis, and then I do like a half season refresh where I do the clutch and oil change and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
He's lying. Long Beach 2 years ago, the car did not actually work when we got there.
no, I mean it worked.
It like mostly worked.
The
It just
throttle
didn't
body was
compete.
like falling off, and
You don't need one of
what
those,
else
right?
happened?
Everyone runs the Bluetooth throttle bodies anyways now, right?
The fucked up part is we tuned it with that too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Was it the throttle body or was it the plate that bolts up to the Maggie, like the little?
No. It was the throttle body.
Throttle body
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
Okay.
Are you guys mechanical
Yeah,
or e-throttle?
Mechanical. I got that linkage set up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
it actually needed to be on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you need even the drive-by-wire one still needs to be bolted to the inlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a different thing when it's like, I don't know. Like the throttle body still works, it just might not be all the way on, you know.
I mean, it worked fine when it wasn't all the way on with the linkage, but
It's like wide open throttle all the time.
yeah, I can deal with that. It's a lot of clutch work. I've practiced that on the sim actually. I can do a lap of Ibisu North with my foot just pegged to the floor. I just clutch in when I want the car to slow down, and it just bangs rev limiter for a little bit, and then clutch out, and yeah.
So when he talks like this, Curtis, what does that make you feel like when you have to handle what happens to that car after he does that?
Well, I do that on the
mean, the mechanical side doesn't matter, right? Because like, cool, it's his money he's burning, not mine.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so if he wants to break another crank in an LS7, that's his own, prerogative.
Yeah, gotcha. No, I mean, I'm sure it's a fun dynamic with you guys because you guys are such great personalities out in the FD paddock, and I've always kind of wondered like, what are some of these scenarios? Because you guys have been in some pretty last minute, fixing scenarios in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the E30 was an absolute
The E30
fun
was like
time.
training me to build a better car and training us to do 5-minute calls, efficiently. And like back then, I was kind of Curtis's right hand man at the track, so he would be into the car working, and I just feed him fucking tools because I knew what he needed. I built the car, so I knew everything that we needed to do each job.
Yeah.
And now we've brought in a couple of guys over the years, Jake Bossert and our new guy who's a friend of his, and it's Brian.
Brian. I don't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
know.
Yeah, Brian.
Brian Cooley is his full name.
Yeah. So Yeah, it's been good. I think we got stuff done equally as fast, when I was helping him, but it alleviates sort of me to stress over the problem, and
Right.
I can concentrate more on the driving and all that stuff. Because like the E30, I didn't have a lot of time to like really think about what I'm going to do on track. It was always like, are we going to make it to the track? That was the biggest struggle. It wasn't, what am I doing on track? And now the E46, it's been holding up pretty well. So I can actually like really break down like what I'm doing wrong, learn from my mistakes, all that stuff. And it's helped me just become a better driver. Just being able to not think about, the car braking all the time. Cause there wasn't a single FD round with the E30, and that was a lot. I mean, we ran that car for 7 years. 1 year of pro and pro spec, and then let's see, and then 6 years of pro spec with that car. And I don't think there was a single FD event where we didn't deal with some sort of BS.
Right.
No, I think there was like one.
Which one?
I don't remember where.
One round in 7 years.
I feel like there was one time where like the E30 just didn't mess up, and we're like, "This is the best day ever."
Yeah, right.
So, what do you guys kind of go over though? Because obviously, it's always the challenge, and it's like, how do you guys handle that kind of dynamic and just dealing with a problematic car? And what's the conversations like before and after rounds? I mean, I'm sure it depends on what was going wrong, but
yeah,
there was a lot of alcohol, a lot of crying.
Yeah. I think like it's about me and him rapping back and forth and prioritizing what needs to happen and what's a better way to do something. We're both pretty good at sort of listening to each other. If my idea is objectively better, he's going to go with my idea. If his idea is objectively better, we're going to go with his idea. And if it's not at all and we're sitting there going back and forth, I just like, dude, just do it, because it doesn't, at that point, it doesn't make a difference. If you don't have a discernible argument why one method of fixing something or building something is better, if you're just going back and forth and it just becomes semantics, like someone's just got to give it up, and he's the one doing the work. So it's like, why would I make him do what he doesn't want to do if it's going to achieve the same goal?
Exactly.
So that's important, I think, with a crew dynamic, driver to crew dynamic. Just trusting the person that what they're doing is right, and if they're doing the work anyways, like just let them do what they want to do, even if it does take a little bit longer or something like that, or it isn't the way that you imagined it in your head. It's nice to have that. And I mean that's like just comes over with like the relationship we've had. I mean,
you got to build that.
Yeah, it's sure. It's 11 years.
In the beginning, he was a lot more hard-headed about things, right?
Yeah.
And would kind of cringe when I did certain things to the cars. And as we've moved forward, he probably still cringes, but I think he mostly walks away when I have like hammers and sawzalls in my hands.
I just let it happen now, man. I know it's right? Like
but like
she's like, okay, I'll go put the handcuffs on.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, we make like lists every single event of like things that went wrong, things we need, things that we should change, things that we might need to change. Like every round of FD ever, there is a laundry list of things in my notes, in his notes, in the notebook at the track. And whether we address, like they're addressed in order of what's really a priority. But you just got to stay on top of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to tell your driver that they're being a dingus and just fix their car the way you want to fix it.
Yeah. Well, that's I was going to ask is how much opinion did you have on the E46?
No, honestly, not that many. He did a really there was a lot of things about the E30 over the years that I would have done a lot differently. And I expressed a lot of that to him over the years. Not always in the best way, but always kind of expressed it. And by the time he was building the E46, a lot of the things that I hated about the E30, he corrected on that car. One of the examples I could use would be the steering rack. On the E30, the way the steering rack went into the
Okay.
subframe, it had like washers under and above it, and then the nuts weren't welded to the subframe, so you were constantly doing this weird like fight to put it all together. And I complained about it constantly. And then the E46 came around, and the spacers were welded, the nuts were welded, and you just pull bolts out, put a steering rack in, and then throw bolts back in. So he corrected a lot.
I think that was your number one concern, where you like, I forget where it was. You're like, did you weld those nuts? And I was like, yeah. It's like, oh fuck yeah,
dude. I probably put 9 or 10 steering racks in the E30, right?
Yeah, we had it down.
Always a fight. So yeah, it was pretty high on my priority list.
But like, also, it was the clearance to the oil pan that really did it, because I could barely fit my 2 fingers in there, like up in between the oil pan and the subframe to slide the nut into place, and like Curtis has got fucking Hulk hands compared to mine, so like it's ridiculous when you see the hand size difference. So that was another thing. Like the E30 was built around like my hands, like I built the car, and this time I took a little bit more, knowledge and built it with a little bit more room so that Curtis could fit his gigantic hands in there.
Hang on.
Pun intended.
So that anyone that has like average size adult male hands could work on the car is what he means to say.
Yeah.
He just has very small feminine.
Got long fingers, dog. They're long and they're flat like my feet.
Got the witch hands. No.
Yeah.
But it's a. Did you guys ever get that E30 to where you kind of liked it, or was it just always?
Oh yeah, at All-Star Bash and any fun event we ever took it to, fantastic car.
It always ran great. Yeah, All-Star Bash, Runner Jam, like any event that I took it to outside of FD, that car just functioned like perfectly. Yeah,
that's fun.
I think, but like on a serious note, as far as FD went, like I don't remember what year it was. It was St. Louis, the year we broke the trailing arm on the rear of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That year, while it still had a good bit of problems, that was probably the most promising season overall for that car. Like, it took a lot of wins. It was driving really well. And like St. Louis, we cracked that trailing arm and we had all those issues with it, but it was like a brand new prototype trailing arm design. And so it was like, okay, it's normal to have these kind of issues with it. And so that was when it was like right there on the cuff of being the car we always believed it could be.
Yeah.
And so like I would call that season I think all things considered for that chassis, that was a really good season. I think that was probably like 16 maybe.
Yeah, because we finished I think like 10th one of those years in that car. We had like a pretty okay season, with it. But the car was just never, all that. Like, that was the first build I ever did, Like, I had a, Z with a single turbo kit before that. And, like, this is the first car where I was like, all right, I'm going to build a real Formula D car here. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, my first welds are on that car. My first hoses that I ever made are on that car. First time I did an engine swap. First time I built headers. First time I mounted a fuel cell. First time I mounted, built my own racing seat. Like, everything was all a first for me with that car. So when you take it to like someone who's very experienced with this, like Curtis, he's like, "What the hell is this hop job mess that you made here?"
It wasn't all bad. All right, it was pretty good. All things considered, there was just little things like when we first met, and you're like, "Oh, you got to pull the whole motor out to change the clutch." You're an idiot. Why would that? Why would you have a car like that? Like, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
But like overall, the car was. I don't want to say the car would have ever been a winning car, like a true like championship car, right?
Yeah.
But I think if it had gotten updated, like wiring, like the Link ECU package in it and all that, like I think it could have been a more competitive car than it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
a lot of our downfall at like some of those events was literally the electromotive ECU that didn't do any sort of data logging. We couldn't log crank trigger. We couldn't log anything. And anything you could log, you had about 30 seconds of log time on it. Because that was like 2007-ish technology right there is when that ECU came out. And it was just, just always garbage, when you're looking at ECUs by today terms. You're totally right, though, Curtis. If we had the Link, if we had a PDM, we had all that stuff on that car that we could have done a lot better. It would have. I don't think we could have gotten a podium. I think like maybe, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have podiumed. I just don't think it would have been a champion. Like, I don't think it would have ever been like top of the box at the end of the season.
No.
Well, that was kind of my next question: is do you think it's possible to build a competitive E30 at a FD level?
No,
not with FD rules.
Yeah.
No, I mean we did it. I mean the trailing arm thing was like my last step in that car to try and make it competitive, because the camber curve on the rear of those things with the semi-trailing arm is just awful. So that we got it to the point where, you know, on paper the dynamic camber change and toe change throughout the compression of the shock was better than a 36 or a 46. But on track, it's still just a very difficult car to drive. And I didn't drive a whole lot of cars like over those years, you know. And then when I rented that S14 in 2021, that was like, by all means, not up to Formula Diff, you know, spec. I mean, it had like 10-year-old PBM coilovers on it with adjusters locked up. It was welded diff. It was T56, you know, made like 500-ish horsepower. And like, I was able to put that car where I wanted so much easier than the E30, as far as like taking the high line at, you know, at Orlando, or putting it right on the wall in Jersey on the entry, and sticking in that big outside zone is the whole way through. And it, like, that was the first time I drove a car with a vertical e-brake. Like, there was a lot of things where I was like, damn, like, I've been making life hard on me for a very long time now. Like, it's, you know, and I was already building the E46 at that time, but I mean, you know, proof was in the pudding. I mean, we, like I said, our best finish in 6 or 7 years with the E30 was 10th place. And then, you know, we built the E30 first year out. We're 3rd place at the end of the year. We qualified first and won our first event with it. It was just so much easier to put the car where I wanted to and do it consistently. The E30 is just, it's just a hard chassis to drive. The wheelbase is...
No one else... Yeah. When was the last? Who is the? Is there anyone else in FD that's run an E30 before?
Donovan Brockaway, and then way back in the day, I want to say like 2006, 7, 8, somewhere in there. There was a guy out of San Diego, David Blunt, that built one.
Gotcha.
So he was officially the first E30 in FD, so I can't claim that title.
Right.
Donovan built an E30, I think, like a year or two after we built ours, or something like that. Curtis, you think that's right?
Like that. Yeah, it sounds about right. It was the Red Baron Racing E30. It had that crazy like turbo. I think it was an S54 in it, maybe.
Yep. S54 turbo. Yep.
It was a wicked car. It was super cool. It was always fun, like when they were both out there.
That car was way nicer than my E30.
It was light years nicer than
nice. Like, just everything on it, fit, finish, like that little cowl thing they made for the turbo, like sticking out of the hood, like just everything was like super nice on that car. Yeah, it was a beautiful car.
That's cool. I mean, so you don't think we'll ever see another one in FD though?
Prospect maybe, and if they do, that guy can wheel, because E30s are just hard to drive. You're giving yourself a handicap right off the bat. You know, it's like doing a foot race with someone and one person's wearing shoes and one isn't, you know, like, you know, it's hard. You can be, you know, an amazing driver. You know, if we stuck James Dean in there, he'd probably win it, you know, but if anybody
really likes E30s. I don't know if you guys saw his Christmas video or not, but
so if anybody makes it all the way and does well in Pro Spec, like, that dude can wheel. Like, if I had a team, I would sign him like right away. I'd be like, yo, you know how to fucking drive, dog. Like,
Well, it's because I mean, you just don't see him in competitive drifting much anymore. So it's like,
no.
Yeah, they're hard, man. And like, if you could switch them over to like the 36-46 like multi-link rear trailing arm setup, right? By whatever rules, like let's say you went down in like the grassroots world or something, and nobody really cares about those kinds of swaps. An E30 could absolutely be competitive, but with the semi-trailing arm thing back there, and like even with the crazy arms that Andy made, they're just a hard car to drive. And like my Cressida is the same way. It's almost identical in design in the rear end to the E30s, and it's just not an ideal setup.
Yeah,
it works good if you don't put a lot of travel into it. You know, like if you keep the suspension kind of in one spot, keep it pretty stiff, and don't get a lot of squat out of the car.
Like a good party car.
Yeah, it's not terrible. But if you want to do something serious, you know, 5, 6, 7, 800 horsepower, like it's it's just not up to the task.
Not made for that.
It just truly isn't. Even with the really good trailing arms, like it's not the same, man. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, like the really good trailing arms too take twice as much time to adjust and dial in as every other modern suspension, right? Like
yeah. Gotcha. The DTM adjuster on there was, I think if we situated the adjuster so at ride height the adjuster was completely vertical, it would have been better. But the adjuster was tilted to the side because the arm is tilted down, and if you put any toe into it, it would change the camber. You put camber into it, it would change the toe. So it took a while to dial in. And then those adjusters came loose a lot.
All the time.
Yeah, so I got those Nordlock washers, and that kind of fixed that problem. But I remember we welded them, we tack welded them in place one time, and I think it even broke the tack welds. But yeah, it's just a lot with that car. We learned a lot. Like, I mean, I'm not hating myself for it. I probably should have gotten out of that car somewhere around like 2018, somewhere around there would have been like the move,
Right.
It's like somebody paid you to do that.
What's that?
Nothing, man.
I mean, that was the plan from the beginning. I was always planning on going to E46, but I never felt like we got everything we could out of the E30 until we did the trailing arms and like perfected them, did a year on them, and then it was definitely not the move. It was
really
better.
Rented the world's worst S14 and realized how easy it was to drive, and he was like, "Man, I definitely finished that other car."
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like you have a great template of other cars to check out really when it comes to the E30. It's like E46. There's a dime a dozen out there now.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of a good thing because there were some things that like kind of were a little bit illegal by the FD rulebook, but Kevin didn't know the car well enough to know the 46 is good. I'm letting him know for future. I'm helping him here, all right? But yeah, there was a few things on that car that weren't exactly legal, but the car never did that great, so I don't think anyone cares. But
he overlooked it because the car weighed 5,500 billion pounds, and he was like, "It's fine."
It was 31. It's as much as the
heaviest E30 that's ever existed.
Well, yeah, because I fucking plated the frame rails and shit, like back to the subframe. Like, I built a tank. Like, when I built that thing, I was like, this car is not. I'm not bending the frame on this car. Like, where this is, if it bends, it's gonna like taco in the middle. It won't. The front and rear will stay where they are. But I know that's not like the best mentality now. But yeah, I built it real strong. Like, I wanted it to hold up for over the years, and that, and like since it was my first build, I didn't drive it hard enough a lot of the times. I think it was my baby. It was like this beautiful car that I built, and I was very happy about it, and I didn't want it to become scrap metal. So and I'm happy I still have it, but I with the 46, I kind of built that car with as many bolt-on parts as I could, so that if I do wreck it, all right, unbolt that, get a new chassis, put 2 riv nuts here, bolt it up to that chassis type thing. So I kind of took that route with the fab on this car because FD shit happens. I could show up to Long Beach and need a new car by Atlanta. So
that was one of Andy's problems with the E30 back in the day. Like he was. You were so wildly attached to that car. Like, I remember the first 2 seasons that I ran with you. Yeah. If the car got a scratch on it at all at one round, by the next round, it would be completely repaired, painted, new vinyl, everything ready to rock as if it never got hurt. And he was too afraid to wreck it. And so it was like, I don't know if you'll ever win in this thing because you're not willing to write this thing off.
It was so pretty, though.
I'll never forget what's his name, Brian, in Texas that year. When we got into the wall, he was in the trunk just kicking the daylights out of the quarter panel, and like you could see, I was watching you cringe every time it's
eye twitch
contact.
God,
that's fun.
Oh man,
well, the car, which is fun, it is a nice looking car though, and I mean it made it into Forza. Like, how did that deal happen?
I got a call from Corey Hosford one day, and he's like, "Yo, you want your car in Forza?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "This guy's gonna call you. This guy from Microsoft or whatever it was, Turn 1 or Turn 10 or whatever they call it." Yeah, that happened, which is weird because I literally started, my driving obsession was started on Gran Turismo, and my bedroom at my parents' house, playing with controller and learning about all these cars, the Calsonic Skyline, the Escudo Pikes Peak, the differences between front, rear, and all-wheel drive and how they perform and all that stuff, and the different mods you can do to a car and running different tires and all that stuff. It all that taught me a lot, and that's like where I first really found out that, like, hey, it's like really fun to slide. Like, this is what I want to do. Racing is fun. I love racing. I still do a lot on the simulator, but drifting is just so much more fun. It's so much more just let it loose and have fun and not worry about the car or making everything look pretty or worrying about a tenth of a second, faster or whatnot. Like, just get out there, shred, have fun, do the stupidest possible things you can do with this car, and people love you for it. It's not, it was just for me because I like doing dumb stuff. That's kind of my MO. So
it's funny.
Yeah.
I just thought it was unique because I was like, oh, so they picked. I mean, obviously they had, I think it was Matt Field's car, Frederick Osbo's, I think, was in there. Corey's car, obviously.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe it was Turk's car. I felt like there was a Toyota.
Onadale's car was in there.
Yeah. So they had a wide range, and then they picked the E30. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's unique. That's different.
Yeah, so. And it worked good. They came out. It was all done by photos. There was no 3D scan.
Yeah.
So they just put the car over here in the alleyway, and he set up like string lines and did like a 30-foot radius around the car and a 20-foot radius and a 10-foot radius, and he'd just take pictures from 90 degrees at 30 feet, a little bit higher, step up on a ladder, get it a little bit higher, move,
I'm surprised they don't 3D scan that. But
10
what year
degrees
was
to the
this?
right, low, high, do all that, and then just a big sweep around the car, and then move into like the 20-foot mark and do that sweep again, move into the 10-foot mark, make that sweep again. And then it was all drawn essentially by hand. At Forza, they had like Pixar animators, like the guy who drew my car is the guy that like drew Woody in Toy Story.
No way.
Yeah, like they have serious talent over there. So, 3D scanning. I don't think 3D scanning was as accurate as it is now. They probably 3D scan them now. That'd just be so much easier.
Right.
But you still need photos to get colors right and all that stuff. And then, scanning an engine bay, with all the stuff in there is not really going to work. So you're going to have to draw that by hand.
I will say your orange is hard to get right. In video. Like it's a very, like I can even see like the picture of your car behind in the background here. It's I don't even think that's necessarily perfect. Like it's a little more redder than it actually is in person. So it's
it depends on the sun too, because it's got that gold sort of flake in there. So if it's sunny out, it's like orange, yellow, fire color, and if it's shadows, then it is like matte orange, dark, and it looks like a way darker orange when you're in the shadows than in the sun.
That makes sense.
Flake, the gold flake really comes out and pops it. And that was the ironic part is that the color of the E30, which is the same color on the E46.
Yeah.
I got that from a motorcycle. There's a Honda like 600 something, and I was like tripping on it. My buddy who worked on bikes, he lived right near me, and I was tripping on it. I love this orange. I was looking for the right orange, and I was like, oh, that's the orange, dude. Like that's exactly what I want. And I called him up on his birthday, and he wasn't doing nothing. I was like, dude, swing up to the house, like come hang out. And then I got a call about 10 minutes later, and he's like, God damn, fuck, damn. It was his customer's bike. He wrecked it, like, right in front of my house, basically. Like, because I live up a canyon road, and it's, like, long straight, and then it starts going up the canyon, and he wrecked it on the first right-hand corner because the sidewall of the tire wasn't hot yet, and he went to lean it in, and it just gave up on him and slid across the road. Wow. So messed up the whole bike, but I went over there, I helped him pick up the bike, and I saw a little piece of the fairing on the ground, and I was like, yoink. And I took that and had that paint matched, and that's how I got the color.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, I was
it's
gonna
definitely
go to
your
Honda.
Color. Like.
Yeah, I was gonna go to a Honda dealership and ask for like touch-up paint or whatever, and I was gonna have them match that, but I had a piece of the fairing, so it was all good to go.
Traffic cone
if
orange.
they hand drew everything on that engine bay, right?
What's that? Yeah.
Okay, so that means somebody came out there, looked at the brake fluid reservoir.
The one that broke. Yeah.
Right, and we zip tied it back together. And he was like, "Oh, that's zip tied on," and he drew that into the video game. Our mechanical failure is in a video game for life.
Yep. And it's like slightly crooked. It's not that reservoir is like not. It's not where exactly where it should be. You know.
No, it's just held in with two bright orange zip ties.
Yeah. Funny stuff.
That's funny. No, it's that's cool. I mean, it's kind of fun to reminisce. I mean, what's some of the fun experiences you guys had keeping that thing going? Like, what were some of your top...
I mean, I don't know about fun. I could tell you the worst ones. The fun times are when we got stuff done really I
want to hear Curtis's perspective on the
No. You guys have heard some of my stories the last time I was on. So I want to actually hear Andy's perspective. I want to know what Andy thinks is the number one worst time we ever had with
for sure. So in the way.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, right?
Yeah, that was 100% the worst. I went through every T-shirt I had. We had 2 inches of water in the pits, and I had to keep climbing under the car to disconnect and reconnect the battery. So I put on a new T-shirt, soak it, and eventually I just no shirt. It's pouring rain. We're trying to figure out this stupid electrical problem. I'm spending the majority of my time underneath the dash, upside down on the seat with my back in a precarious position, pulling out relays and telling Curtis to crank it or see if he got power to the coils. Just a nightmare. That was a nightmare.
That event that I didn't even know were possible.
What's that?
I said I did things with a voltmeter or multimeter that event that I didn't even know were possible.
Yep. That was a nightmare. And it turned out to just be a bad relay. And in our frustration, I think that when I pulled that relay, the battery was disconnected or something, because when I got back to my shop and had time to really diagnose it, I isolated the relay, swapped over some other relay in there, and the car fired up just fine.
For the record, he says our frustration, but he was the only one messing with or swapping relays. So this is not a shared fault. This is Andy messed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we're a team.
24 hours,
bro. What happened to Team Hateley Motorsports? Come on, dude.
No.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah. You're a communist with that hour there all of a
sudden. You could have used that and said it was the team's fault when you didn't put gas in my car this year.
In my defense, I was fixing 3 other things.
Yeah. I didn't blame you for it.
I overlooked the fact that I didn't fuel the car. You know.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
How many laps does the car get?
Connor? Was it O'Sully that won?
Yeah, O'Sully. Yeah.
Sorry, O'Sully.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. I apologized to him afterwards. I was like, dude, my guys forgot to put fucking gas in the car. Yeah, it's pretty funny. That's never happened. Fucking.
Hey, that's my one mistake in 11 years. All right?
How many laps do you usually get on a tank?
I don't know. We never run it. That was.
I know how many.
Okay, yeah, go for
it. It'll do 6 before it has a problem.
Before it starts sliding.
It's depending on track too. I
mean, I fill it up every time we change tires. Right.
Yeah, we top it up.
I know, worst case scenario, the car can go a full 6 laps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As long as you fueled it on hot pit. If it's one of those events where like Jersey or something like that, right, where you got to drive all the way over to grid and shit, you'll probably lose in about maybe a lap, maybe 2 on the drive. But if we're in Utah or something like that where it's hot pit then straight to grid, it'll do 6 for sure.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it's funny because people don't realize how often that happens though. Cars running out of gas.
Oh,
NFD.
Yeah. All it takes. So in our instance, what happened was it had thrown the supercharger belt. And so I was hyper focused on fixing the belt problem. And then Brian was changing the tires like he was supposed to do. And for whatever, it was a lack of communication. I think in my head I told Brian like, "Hey, go ahead and fuel up the car," but I didn't actually say it. And so like I changed the belt, the tires got on the car went down, wheels were torqued, and it just went back out. And then it was never fueled.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it's not uncommon. Like it's actually crazy how many times you'll hear like, "Oh, the car's out of gas." Like, it, just because you guys are flying, not necessarily your team, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I hear about it all the time. Yeah. Just because things go and, like you said, you only get max 6 laps, so it's not like you can forget and get away with it.
Yeah, and there's just a lot going on. Like I'm surprised we handle it as good as we do. Everybody at FD, like it's a lot going on at every event, and it's just a whirlwind. And then when it's over, you kind of just like, what the hell just happened? Type, thoughts going through your head because it's just back to back to back, this thing, that thing, this thing, that thing, this thing, that thing, and just, it's it's impressive that every team out there does as good as they do, because it's a lot of management, it's a lot of prioritizing, it's a lot of legwork, on the off season to make sure everything's going to work properly, and then on top of that, it's like, well, you got to worry about driving the car and placing it on track, and then social media and getting footage and getting pictures and all this stuff. Like it's a whole lot. I'm lucky I have you for my video stuff, and I don't have to stress over this, because it's so nice at the end of the event to go through all the footage and look for those money shots and create stuff with it.
Yeah, luckily that's easy to do. I mean,
my
job's gotten easier now that I shoot professionals instead of the grassroots stuff when I used to film, and then it's like you're trying to make something out of a guy spinning out almost every corner. It's just like, oh boy.
Yeah.
NJ Jeffries, I think.
Well, you just got to cut it like right before they're about to spin, and it just makes it look like they're throwing a gangster intro.
Exactly. I mean, that's what you do.
Tricks of the trade.
I've always
I cut off all the parts where I like mess up driving a car and only show you the good parts.
Exactly.
That's what everybody does. Yeah. I mean, I show the mess up parts though, because it's funny. I just make funny shit with them. It's easier to make funny ass content with mistakes than it is with like
like you throwing your backy at Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. That thing's gotten like 15 million views in the combined videos that I've posted of that thing, and like some guys like, you're clip farming this video, and I'm like, I've been doing it all year, bud. Like this thing hits every time I post it. It hits.
You need to find the footage of you launching the E30 into the gravel in Atlanta that year in the rain. Where you're on the live stream, you can hear you laughing inside of the car.
Yeah, I remember that. That's hilarious, dude. Yeah, you could hear me laughing in the car.
There were like people texting me from like fans watching, texting me like, "Dude, is Andy laughing right now?" I'm like, "Yeah." He knew he was gonna chuck that thing into the gravel because he went down the hill at mock Jesus in the rain.
Yeah,
I have trouble slowing down for the rain. Like I feel like I slow down, and then I get there, and I'm like, oh no, that was not slow enough. Like
that was me driving Trevor's Pro Spec car at the Gambler, right?
Oh
like, telling myself in my head like, we're gonna enter like second and real slow, and then like leaving the line in second, jamming third, and being like, this thing feels great, and then off track.
Yeah. Now. It fools you because like the forward traction in the wet is not that bad, but side traction is like it turns into ice sometimes.
Yeah, it's terrible. It turns real bad real fast.
Yeah.
Yep. No, throttle is not your friend.
No. Throttle's not your friend. The gravel's not your friend. Yeah. But
I think that was the year that the gravel put the hole in the radiator, wasn't it? When we had to go get all the chicken wire to like protect the radiator.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But the good thing about the wet, when I come in too hot, sometimes I end up doing a backy like that.
Yeah.
It's just that this one I was able to recover one. The last one, Adam LZ hit me because I over-rotated and I didn't get back on throttle soon enough. But
also in the E30.
Yeah. No, he hit me in the 46 too.
Did he?
Yeah.
That first year was in the E30 when we cracked we exploded that front wheel.
Yeah. No, this was in the wet. Not this year, but previous year. Yeah,
I remember.
It was like the first practice lap in the wet.
Yeah. I remember one year Derek Madison had like a vendetta with you about hitting your car.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, it's just our rear bumper.
Quarter panel said, oops, Derek. Or thanks, Derek, for a hot minute.
Yeah.
That's what, Derek Madison is why we don't run a rear bumper on the E46 in practice.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not even pretty much. That's why I don't put it on, because every time I put it on in practice, he would take it off and destroy it. And then I had to learn how to fix fiberglass before competition. So I was like, no, we're not running it.
4 or 5 bumpers that he took out. I'm going to send him a bill.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I'm just going to send him a 2F performance invoice.
That's funny.
Yeah.
NJ Jeffries asks, what happened with Jeff, like 2016, when he couldn't figure out what was wrong with the car?
He's not asking that. He's telling you that. That's Jeff Marlowe.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's NJ Jeffers. That's Jeff Marlowe.
So there was no gas in the car, was what it was.
Ain't no gas in it.
Yeah.
That was Jeff Jones's. For those that don't know, Jeff Marlowe was Jeff Jones's crew chief back then.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time for sure. I was actually gonna ask, like, in like obviously with the FD as a whole and stuff, how many teams are like actually prepared for like to handle a full season? Like how, or is there like you guys like just know the teams that are gonna ask for stuff if they need something, or like how, is everyone pretty much now prepared, or is there still like a lot of people figuring it out?
Level of prepared are you asking?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Like
what percentage of teams absolutely wouldn't need to ask anybody for anything?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, outside of like maybe a welder, because there's only a few people that can.
Let's say less than 10%.
2% total, maybe.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like I can name the 2 teams that are actually prepared.
Rockstar, RTR, and
that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah. A lot of people come really prepared.
Maybe Forsberg.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a spare engine, like that's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, yeah, they're ready to go, you know. But like that's the kind of stuff. There's a lot of spares that I would have but we can't afford. You know, we don't have a spare transmission, we don't have a spare differential, we don't have a spare engine. So, but I mean, you know, if you needed one, you know, I'm sure some team in the pits would oblige. That's kind of the greatest thing about drifting as a motorsport. I think in general is the fact that we're willing to help each other out. You know, we're not hell bent on winning, where we'd rather win in a battle than, you know, win by default. And that goes for I want to say 100% of the field. I don't know if like the bigger teams would help you with like, you know, major spare parts.
Right.
But I mean, like they've done, you know, I've had RTR take my diff to back up to North Carolina and drop it off with Rick to get it rebuilt. You know, I've had, you know, back in the day when, Tanner Faust was running, we borrowed the Z diff on his car back in like 2007. You know, like everybody is pretty good at.
What's that? That one time. Forsberg loading up pig water that one time.
Yeah, we borrowed Ray Shake that one time when we were in Seattle because he knew electromotive stuff. Like everybody there wants everybody to be able to win or lose on the track, you know, and that's like wholly unique to drifting. I haven't seen another motorsport that's like that. At all, you know, from karting to motocross to road racing to drag racing to rally, you know, like in like serious road racing, you're not even allowed to like talk to the guys on the other teams. You know, if you're having a beer, if the Ferrari guy's having a beer with the Mercedes guy, you know, like that's kind of like, what the hell are you doing? You know? Right. And you're only supposed to do your job that you have. I knew a guy that did tuning for an IMSA team, and the pit guys were like looking for a tire that they didn't throw over the pit wall, and he lifted the tire up and handed it to him, and he almost got fired because of that.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's the computer, he's the data guy. Do your job, you know. Also, it's like at that point, it's a liability thing too. If you got hurt, you know, that kind of stuff. They're thinking of it from a more corporate style aspect, you know. But yeah, drifting is it's a unique sport. Everybody's pretty damn cool. It's a great community. It's just good people, you know.
100%.
There's not too many bad eggs, you know.
Yeah,
I haven't ran across any yet.
Yeah,
there's one or
little
two.
Things.
Yeah,
there's little things here and there, but like for the most part, you know, anytime we've needed something, you know, there's been a team or multiple teams willing to help. Anytime another team has needed something, if we have it, we've always given it to them. I mean, I think back to like Jersey that one year when you ran out of talent and wrecked the E46, and Casey wadded our trailing arm, right?
I've never run out of talent. I did that on purpose.
Ran out of talent and messed up our car pretty good. And like we didn't have any spare trailing arms at the time, like nothing. And we were like stressed out, trying to figure out what we were gonna do. We didn't know how to fix it, and like I don't even think we asked him. I think he just heard through the grapevine that we needed one. Yeah. And like walking across the pits, here comes Dylan Hughes with like a big smile on his face with a trailing arm. He's like, "Heard you guys needed this. Here you go." You know, and like that's super cool to have happen, right? Where like you didn't even search that out. That's just somebody knew you needed it, and they're like, "Hey, I got it. Here you go."
We've stolen a few wheel bearings. I think we stole a wheel bearing from Sorensen that day because we had to pull the hub and all that.
Yeah, we had to. Yeah. I think we got like a couple wheel bearings that weekend because like we got to use it for Pro Spec, but Dylan needed it back. Yeah. And so we had to like press our hubs in and then press our hub back out, which toasts the wheel bearing to put his hub back in it and then give it back to him. He was like, whatever you need, you know, you're helping us out, so we'll do the legwork. And, you know, luckily it was in Jersey because the Naps, being the great people they are, give us use of their shop and the press and everything else that we needed to like really make that job all work.
Yeah,
you only get that in drifting. I've been in a lot of motorsports. I've only ever seen it.
Yeah, and like back to the bad egg subject, like there's been a few over the years, but typically they're like in and out in like 3 or 4 years. Like I don't know, they burn bridges or what, you know. But yeah, typically if there's someone that is, you know, doesn't belong, so to speak, you know.
Oh, and word travels fast in this sport, I feel.
Yeah, like. Exactly. Yeah, you know.
There's not that many secrets, I feel like, nowadays.
No, not within our community. No. I know a lot more than I should that I can say publicly.
Right, exactly. You know, speaking of knowing things, we did get a question. Do the drivers/teams know about the layouts of the new tracks yet?
No. I mean, I kind of know the Indianapolis.
Andy knows a bunch, dude. He just won't tell you guys. Don't believe him.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Connecticut layout. I don't know anything about the Vegas layout. The Indianapolis layout, I ran it on the sim and kind of gave them some ideas of what could work there. So I hope they go with my ideas because then I would have, I guess, figured out an FD track or whatever. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know anything about it yet. And I assume they're going to wait till, you know, a week or so out to really tell everyone because they don't want anyone to have a competitive advantage or whatever. Because as soon as they give me a layout for any of those tracks, I'm literally going to hop on the sim and go run it, you know? So, not that I think that's like a crazy advantage. I mean, everyone has the opportunity.
But I feel like they need to at least have an actual, like someone go out there. I'm sure they will have someone go out and like test at each of those facilities beforehand.
Yeah, we'll probably see that unless they're running like the same. Like say they do Vegas and they want to run the same layout that like Hot Pit did, you know, then you don't really need that, you know. But
which I heard that they probably are doing is what I heard actually. Now that you say that,
what's that?
From what I heard, that's what they're probably doing.
Oh, okay. The Indy layout. Yeah, they probably need to test there just because the bank it's the size of Seattle, but it's the banking steepness of incline of Irwindale. So it's basically like a bigger Irwindale, essentially.
Interesting.
So, and it's got a little weird kick up, like the straightaways are not as banked as the corners. So when you go up into the bank, there's actually like a little bump that gets bigger the further you go towards the wall, which kind of actually works because when you initiate, that kind of like unloads the car a little bit as you're coming up into the bank and sets you in the high line like pretty perfectly. You don't even really need to try. So we'll see how that goes, but I have a feeling for that track we're going to see people actually taking grip out of their car for once, which would be cool. Yeah. I don't see like the current setups that like a lot of the grippier cars are running FD. I don't see them making that bank with what they have and let like maybe with like 1500 to the ground, you know, something like that would work. But like it's steep and it's long and it's grippy. So
yeah. Did people take grip out of their cars for Irwindale, or is that still pretty?
I don't think so. I mean, I know Nick Novak did that when he won the event, just to make it more comfortable. And he, you know, obviously that was the move because he won the whole thing, you know.
Right.
But Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we take grip out of the car for Seattle, and Salt Lake City, and that's, I want to say, that's the only times we really took grip out of it, right, Curtis?
This year, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Last year, I kind of screwed the pooch on him and put too much grip in the car for Seattle.
Yeah.
But
hard.
if Indy's going to be like a big long bank like that,
yeah,
you're probably going to pull grip out of the car. I'd almost guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
especially like Utah's just too long, dude. Like, you gotta pull. Otherwise, you're going to be driving.
We'll make a couple hundred more horses next year, so we'll see how that goes. We're working with Tom Nelson and Nelson Racing Engines to do our next engine. Making some good changes, probably 11-to-1 compression ratio, switch to 85. And I need to iron out the cooling on the supercharger, and I'll get a good idea of that because I was talking to Tom about that today. So we'll dyno the car on the engine dyno with the supercharger running, obviously cold water through the supercharger, not using the heat exchanger, just like you run, radiators and stuff like that on the dyno. So we'll get an idea of like how low it can be and where it is now, and then we can figure out, how to find a happy medium there. But 85 will help
that a little bit.
Yeah, it'll help. It won't show on the IATs though. It'll cool the charge because the injectors are past the the sensor, but you kind of won't know how much it's cooling it.
Right. You still I have theories about things that need to change for that still, but we can talk about that later when we're not on here, right?
Is it a same brand supercharger? Or?
Yeah, same Maggie 2650. Going with AFR heads. And just a different compression ratio. The rods looked great in the car. Like the rod bearing wear was like super minimal. It was really nice, but the crank bearing wear was actually wearing in between the block and the bearings, so it was getting some heat in there and trying to weld the bearings to the block. Well, we're getting it sorted out, and we're gonna have a good package for next year, and we'll actually be on par with everyone else. We only made, highest numbers we've seen out of any of my cars was about 750. So, if we can make 950, then, we're in business to be keeping up with the big boys. Cause it was always a struggle with that. And, with the 295s from Kumo that were excellent tire, that just made my life that much harder, especially in like a, Seattle or whatever, something like that, where, you think 750 would be enough, but with the 295 and, these other cars out here making 1200 and stuff like that, it just becomes not on the same level, not up to par with the rest of the field. So
you're also running at 295 at like 12 PSI and everything else, right? Like it's a big, I mean, like I finally drove on the 275 Kumos, right? And like that tire was like, holy hell, this is a tire, you know what I mean? And so like I can only imagine what the tall sidewall 295 feels like.
Yeah, things happen quickly.
Like I know Kuma had a kind of a rough year this year, with everything going down with their factory and whatnot. Have you heard anything from them? Like, is they plan on
not about like specifically the factory? I know they're on a 3-year contract, so I assume that everything's going to be good. I mean, it was the fire at that factory burned for 27 hours.
Yeah, that's
so
insane.
Yeah. I mean, it was a total loss for sure.
A lot can burn in 27 hours. So I'm assuming that everything in that factory was awash. So you're talking about ordering, new molds, new press machines, new, things to heat up the rubber and inject it in there. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
I talked to Chris about it in Florida. It was like, I think the mold survived and stuff like that, but it was like mostly in like the rubber manufacturing section or something like that. That burned really bad, but it compromised the whole facility. And so like the hang up and the hold up and the issue is they have to build a whole new plant in order to resume production of it. So that means building a plant, moving all of your equipment, moving all of your staff or training new staff. Like it's a hurdle for sure. And it couldn't come at a worse time to them because like they were having a record year. They were killing every category.
And Yeah, just finding another building that's the right size and shape and all that, right zoning and all that. That's probably difficult too.
You don't find that, you build it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if they're building a whole new facility, then you're talking years, before they're back on track. So
yeah, I was curious. I didn't know if you heard anything or anything, but like, yeah, it's that was a really sad scenario because like, I mean, if there's one thing FD needs more of, it's tire companies, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Just to kind of ease the burden on guys, because it's like, it's still one of the hardest parts of the sport.
And they're a great company, like through and through. Like they're such kind, good people,
Yeah, even like the execs that all came out to Atlanta and stuff, they're super cool dudes. We had all these Korean guys in the Drift Wizard hats,
Oh yeah,
that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, I mean they've been a treat to work with. So when it all went down, it was like, dude, it sucks.
Yeah, it's tough. Speaking of like obviously next year and whatnot, I was just kind of get your thoughts on the new tracks. I mean, I feel like it's just from my perspective looking on the outside, it looks like it's not complex, if that makes sense. Like you're like, oh, okay, so it's an oval track. We've done this before. We kind of know what to expect, or am I looking at that wrong?
I'd say that's when we haven't done the bull ring before. We've done the parking lots at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but bull ring will be new. Indy will be new, and Stafford will be new.
Yeah,
and the bull ring hasn't been drifted a lot, other than hot pit going there. And I know Stafford has pro-am events, but I think the Indy track, I don't think any pro-ams or any sort of drifting has happened there before, so that's going to be kind of new territory. But I'm all for it. I would have preferred to stay at E-Town, but unfortunately, things happen.
Yeah.
E-Town is a massive loss, right?
Dude, it
is. Yeah, that's like, it's a loss for like the community as a whole. Like that's where drifting started on the East Coast, and those dudes from up there, what's their Bloodmasters or whatever? Yeah, they're
Bloodmasters, all those dudes.
Yeah, like it all, like the whole East Coast drifting, like that all started there. I
mean, it's still safe. It still exists. We just don't have FD there.
Yeah.
It just sucks not having FD there. Like, where are we going to party Saturday night at the Northeast Town? What are we going to do?
I don't know. We got to talk to Scott about that. He's from up there. The guy who makes my Legos is from up in Connecticut. So
the roots are right there too, dude. We're going to talk to those guys and be like,
oh yeah, no, it'll be a great time.
What dive bar are we taking over in Connecticut?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it won't be long. Be like, yep. FD's not allowed to come back to Connecticut now.
In the state of Connecticut, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. No, that was a hard one to hear about, and I was like, well, fingers crossed everything gets worked out, and then someday we can come back. But it's yeah. It was I started hearing things about what was going on with other places out in New Jersey, and it's kind of a scary scenario. So I'm hoping it all works out for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is the reality, though. I mean, how many other tracks did we lose this year? Like Lanier over by Curtis, and then you got
Lanier's definitely not gone. It's just like it's like everywhere else where it's like up in the air on what's actually going to like transpire with it. But like
Mid-Ohio, was it Mid-Ohio or was it the Pennsylvania one? There was a
Pennsylvania. Which Pennsylvania track did we lose?
Oh my gosh, I already forgot. I thought it was one that Grill Life goes to.
Pit race.
Pit race, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Lost pit race.
That is true. That one's like slated gone for sure, right? Like they're like demoing it and building like one of those corny data centers or something.
Yep.
Yep. And all the residents around Laguna Seca are trying to get rid of that place.
Yeah.
I mean, let's switch paces. What's going on out there in California? Because you guys have your own woes with like Willow and everything else, right?
Yeah, that's still up in the air. We'll see what happens, but as of right now, I don't think drift testing is even allowed there, and I don't think drift events are allowed there right now. They're already getting rid of the balcony, which sucks because that's where I would go test my car all the time. So Yeah, and I don't know. They're planning on sort of cleaning up horse thief and all that, but I don't know if they're going to allow drifting back there again. I mean, if all these guys out there, you know who you are, dropping tires on horse thief and eating up the edge of the track, this might be your fault. If we kept that track nice, then maybe they would have been like, oh yeah, the drifters don't beat the crap out of their tracks, but like horse thief, like the line where the outside line was is now like curving in like that because the pavement has just been eaten away from tire drops, and it's, you know, a good 6-inch to 8-inch drop as you go off the track where you three-wheel and stuff like that. And
that's a problem everywhere with drifting, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's the number one root cause for facilities that exist, like you know, like Barber Motorsports Complex, right? Like, what a gorgeous track that just won't allow drifting in any regard, because they know the moment they do, it'll tear up their landscaping and everything else. Like, I went through this with the owner of Mid Pond back in the day when he was like, well, I'm going to extend the track here. And I'm like, don't do it. If you make it wider there, trying to avoid cars running off. I was like, I love drifting and I love drifters, but like, they're going to go to the edge. They're going to find the edge. And they're going to fall off the edge. It's just how it is.
Yep. Yeah. So take note, drifters out there. Be nice to your racetracks. Tire on the edge of the track is gangster. Tire on the edge, gangster. Tire off the edge, you messed up. Lift off, fix it. Don't pin it. Don't dig a hole. Don't shoot stuff all over the place. Like, your tire should be right on that line. That's perfect.
Right.
Over the line is not better than under the line, basically. If you're 6 inches from the line or 6 inches over, I see that as an equivalent mistake, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and that's, Curtis is right. Like, that's probably the number one reason why, you know, tracks just don't exist anymore, because we abuse them, you know?
I mean, if you're, like, I get if you're like one tire off and you don't lift, right? Like, it happens. But like, man, there's a lot of examples of dudes that are like, I've seen a lot of video clips that make their rounds on the internet where dudes are literally 4 tires off, throttle to the floor, and never lift. And it's like, dude, stop.
Like me in Salt Lake City against James Dean.
Yeah, actually, perfect example, right? Like, you're completely off the course. Just quit.
No, I was coming back on. He kept in the pocket too. Like, he kept. He's like, oh, is he coming back? Is he coming back? Oh yeah, he's coming back.
Andy just made himself a hypocrite in the same 10 minutes.
Well, the thing I was gonna say too is it's a different thing if you're in a competition. Competition, you drop a tire, like, you don't really want to lift because the guy probably behind you is going to hit you. You want to maintain that momentum any way you can. But
you were 4 tires off.
Three. I had one barely on the track. I was very close.
You're like, you drop a tire.
I had like
you were more a Baja 1000 vehicle than you were a drift car in that moment.
Dude, they do rallycross there, man. They know what's up. They got nice dirt. It's smooth. It's very gritty dirt.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm gonna miss that track. I don't know about you guys. I think it was a cool track. Facility, and I think they got it right finally on the layout too by the end.
Have you ever seen the rock crawling course or the trophy truck course? It's sick. It's super cool.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Rental Broncos take it like a champ. That's all we know.
Allegedly.
Did you do that by yourself, or was that the Roots doing that got you back there?
What? You were in the truck every time we were there.
Where did the idea to go back there come from? Was that your idea, or was that the Roots?
I'm not going to say the name of who it was, but it was someone that worked for the facility that ran into me the first day we were there, saw the rented Bronco, and he was like, you need to go back here.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, you're correct.
That's so
that
good.
Was so much fun. I don't know. I had more fun on the trophy truck course, to be honest.
Admittedly, I don't know how many Twisted Tees in, so I don't remember all of the trophy truck course. So
yeah.
I think it was fun.
It was fun. There was big old puddles.
That's good.
Cleaning the rental was not fun though.
No, dude, you weren't with me the next morning when I spent $130 at a car wash when I was sober and realized how dirty it actually was.
Jeez.
That's cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We got it good, though. Took some detail.
It was me, dude. I didn't even get charged the $200 cleaning fee. We were good to go. That guy had no idea.
Yeah, no idea. That's great. Yeah, I mean, what are some of the I don't know, good experiences you guys have had? Because obviously we talked about some of the hard times with the E30, but you got some highlights.
Orlando, the first year of the E46, we all cried.
Yep. You remember being super confused, like during the halftime break too, because we didn't have anything to do on the car. We just walked around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we're like the car's good. Like, what do? We're just, I don't know, let's go walk around. Like, normally with the E30, we were so used to, like, every time we had downtime, there was something to do, something to fix, like, some sort of thing that we needed to address. And, yeah, the first event with that E46, we're like, it's working fine.
Yeah, it did everything it was supposed to do the entirety of the time. And it was, like,
driving awesome.
Like...
It was a surreal moment to be, like...
It was like Ricky Bobby, right? We were just sitting there, like, what do we do?
Yeah, what do we do? I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
Well, these are supposed to be on the car.
Right.
Yeah.
That event was probably, in my mind, the highest of the highs for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Showed up, everything worked, didn't have any problems, cruised through the competition and just kind of like, you know, got to the spot that we tried to get to for all those years in the E30, right? It was like the moment of like, okay, we are doing the right thing.
Right.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah.
It still doesn't feel real that it even happened. I remember like driving out of the event, like after we unloaded and all that stuff, and I'm all by myself in the truck, and I'm just like, what? Did that really happen? Like, you know, like, did we
you remember
sweep this thing?
Do you remember sitting in the bleachers before we actually started?
No.
With I think it was Rich Whiteman that said it.
Yeah.
Right. We were just sitting there chilling, and he was like, "Man, Andy's been out here testing this E46 for like 4 months. He's gonna come out here and wipe the fucking field with us, dude.
Yeah.
It's over." And we all just kind of like giggled, and then we did the perfect event, and it was like, damn, foreshadowing like crazy.
Because the car was done in like November or something like that. It was done like long before the season because we had that rental car for 2021, and then I basically had, and then Gonzo got sick, and so I didn't do the second half of that season. So I had, you know, an entire year and a half basically to like perfect the car and get everything nice and right and perfect. And even with that timeline, like, we were still done 6 months before, you know, our first event with it.
That's cool. I mean, I can somewhat relate because the first couple times I took my car out, it would break. Like, I never made it a full event until this year. And, like, when you make it through an entire event, when you do, like, 50-plus laps and you're just, like, and the car just works the whole time and you just put it back on the trailer and you're like, this is so cool. It's a really cool feeling.
Makes the hard work
is what it does, actually. Like, when you have a bunch of events where you don't have any problems, you're like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, and it's the greatest thing ever. And then the next time you have a ton of problems, you're like, I kind of just want to put my broken car on the trailer and go home instead of fixing it.
Right.
Yeah, there was a lot of times like the E30, I'd be like, I'm giving up, and Curtis would be like, nope, like we're not doing that today, you know.
I said a lot of words that I can't say here. Called him a lot of names, but
I mean, I won't hate you.
Yeah.
You can call me whatever you want. I've heard all of it by now.
Oh no, I've said it. I'm just not going to say it on a podcast.
Yeah, get it taken down. No, but I mean, it's I mean, let's be honest though. You guys put your heart and soul into this, and you know, blood, sweat, and tears. Literally, it's like it's been such a passion for you guys for so long, and it's. And it's kind of crazy because you guys have seen a transformation of a sport just from where you guys kind of came in to FD to where it is now. It's like, I don't even think you can relate that. When you first came in compared to where it is now.
Yep.
It's a completely different animal for sure, right?
Yep. I mean, I'd say there's like 3 or 4 stages of drifting, you know, in the U.S. when it came over. You know, it was kind of like before the competitions happened, it was just a bunch of guys just having fun, going to their local drift days. And basically back then it was drift day here in California and Club Loose, and that was it. You know, when I first started it, those were the two events in the United States you could go to. There was nothing else.
Yeah.
U.S. Drift had a couple of random events here and there, but it wasn't wasn't as big as it is now. It was basically drift day and Club Loose, and then Formula Drift and D1 started coming out doing their thing, and then Formula Drift came out, started doing their thing, and that's when you started to see just more and more serious builds coming into play. And this was before hydro e-brakes, before angle kits, all this stuff. First couple of years of FD, nobody had a hybrid e-brake, nobody had angle kits, none of that. And then the phase where we all the engineers came on board and kind of figured out what these cars really needed. That's when you started to see angle kits, you started to see hydro handbrakes, and you started to see people actually raising their cars up, putting travel into them, not trying to have this gangster stance the entire time, and actually make the car functional. And then we came into this stage where now it's I would call it a true motorsport at this point, with the amount of engineers, the amount of people working on it, the amount of money being spent on these teams showing up with their big rigs, fully wrapped in 2 race cars and all that stuff. I mean, that's expensive, just to do that is expensive, not let alone pay all your guys and pay all their travel and all that stuff, and pay for gas to get the rig across the country. Just all those items are very expensive, So now we're at a point where it's, I would consider it a true motorsport as far as, the engineering behind it, the team's members behind it, the team owners behind it, all that stuff is, it's come a really long way. And I think we're getting to the point where, now it's really down to the driver, because everybody knows it so well. There's not one team that's going to have a crazy competitive advantage due to the equipment they have, and there were years that was like that, like Daigo Saito, when he came out with 1,200 horsepower and everybody out there's making 600 or 700, and he swept the field. And then what do you know? A year later, everybody's got over 1,000 horsepower. That's all it takes. So if someone comes out tomorrow with a 2,000 horsepower car and they win the championship and swipe the field, you better believe that next year everybody's going to have 2,000 horsepower. Or this tire or that suspension, or whatever changes the game. And it was interesting to see all that happen, because angle kits, that wasn't a thing. It was you would put steering rack spacers on and grind down your steering stops and call it a day. And then people started cutting and welding knuckles, and and then the angle kit revolution happened, where you see companies like WiseFab and SLR and all this stuff coming into the game and making stuff that just bolts right up, where you don't need core parts, and all that, and cutting and welding stuff.
Right.
So it's become, it's made our lives a lot easier too. Everything on the E46, it was basically just getting a bunch of parts and bolting them on there. I didn't have to engineer anything. I didn't have to really think of a whole lot of stuff other than my rear hub setup that's a little weird. But everything's just, you buy a SLR kit, you put it on the front, you buy the quick change subframe, put it in the car. It's, you buy the transmission brace, you put it in the car. Whereas back in the day we were making engine mounts, we're making trans mounts, we were building our own QC subframes, all that stuff. And that the E30 was like that. I mean, other than the engine mounts, I built the transmission mount, I built the quick change subframe. Everything had to be figured out. It's just so much easier to be able to call up Rick from RTS and be like, I need a quick change subframe. Okay, it's on the way. Cool. I put this on there, and then I put that in car, and I'm done.
Right.
That's so much easier than doing hours of measuring and cutting the subframe and making plates and welding them on and making sure your diff is perfectly in line with your engine and making sure it's not twisting this way, or this way, or it just makes life so much easier. I mean, with the E30, I had plumb bombs under there with strings trying to get the the diff perfectly vertical, you know, and then a string stretched down the center of the car to get a perfect straight line to the engine.
Yeah.
Getting the height right so your axles aren't at too much of an angle. Like, it's a lot of stuff to figure out. You think it's simple in your head, but it's not. You know, it's a lot of work to figure that stuff out.
Right.
And yeah, that just, I can't explain how good it felt to just be able, like, I can just buy this subframe. I can just bolt it up. I don't have to make my own trailing arms. I don't have to, you know, make this. I don't have to make that. Like, yeah, you just, you know, bolt it up and go.
Yeah. What is some, like, old modifications, like when you guys first got started in the sport, that you would never do today? That people
probably like rack spacer, stuff like that. And it just became different when we realized that, like, the grip level of the car is directly related. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but the grip level of the car being directly related to how much power it has, and the amount of grip that we could actually get out of these cars, I don't think we thought we could. Nobody was out there with like a 295 and 1200 horsepower and doing stuff like that. I don't think anybody thought that was possible.
Right.
And it was just an even smaller number of people that actually had the budget to do something like that.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot has changed. It really has. And the cars were, I mean, I remember when I got into this, like, if you had 400 horsepower, like, you were good. Like, that's a pro car right there. Oh my God, you have 400, and now, like, a friggin' Miata has 400 horsepower off the lot or whatever. You know, not really, but yeah, it's crazy.
To get there.
No, yeah, it's crazy to me that you can just, you know, go and buy a car that has, you know, what does the Hellcats make? Like, there's 1,000, seven.
I mean, there was the Demon or whatever ran. It was banned by NHRA, right? Because, like,
yeah, that's
in factory form off the lot, and it was like,
yeah. Factory form.
I remember struggling to run 12s in a quarter mile. Like, now there's a car that you can just buy that cracks out a 9. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah,
that's like, that scares me because anybody can go and buy that. Like, you should need an extra license to buy something. Like, any car over 500.
Have you ever driven like one of those Teslas, the fast ones, the Plaids?
The Plaid.
I haven't. No, I drove a Lucid the other day.
Oh,
it was pretty good, but it wasn't like the really fast Lucid. What I really hate about, I've never driven like an electric car.
Yeah.
Other than, like, my buddy built an electric Corolla A86 that I drove once.
Is that car still around?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be somewhere. He hasn't driven it in a really long time, but that car had like a 5-speed transmission and a clutch and all that.
Oh wow!
So I drove it at balcony.
Factory Corolla. It had a T50 in it, a factory Corolla trans.
Yeah, and a forklift engine. And I drove it at balcony, and it was just the same muscle memory motions that I was used to doing, so it was really easy. And just first, second, third, clutch kick, initiate. There was just no sound. It wasn't that crazy of a thing, you know.
Right.
But the Lucid that I drove, I hate the regen brakes. The fact when you lift off and it just like you have to maintain like a perfect amount of throttle for it not to like dive on you. That's really annoying. But
we almost totaled one of those. What was it? The BMW i3. Was that the weird little like egg thing they made?
Yeah, with the
they were doing like one of those like sign your name and test drive car things at Atlanta Motor Speedway when we were down there for I don't know, Import Alliance or something maybe. And we went over there and we all did it. And so like I grabbed an i3 and I was like, let's see what this is about. We almost like flipped and totaled it because of the regenerative braking, and we were naturally driving like idiots in it. But if you don't know about it, it can make for a really bad day. Like
I feel like it could make you lose it in the rain too. Like if you had that on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
we almost lost it in the dry.
Yeah, that's crazy. But what the auto manufacturers got to get on top of that are making electric cars, you could use that regen with like a paddle shifter and make it feel like you had gears. Because if you had max regen, in first gear, obviously it'd feel like first gear. Click to second, less regen. Third, less regen. Fourth, a little bit less. Fifth, sixth, seventh, and eventually you get to where there's no regen, and it feels like you're in your driving, highway gear or whatever. So you could drive like a canyon road or something like that, and you get that feel of a manual transmission that, like, basically when I lift off, the car is going to slow down a certain amount. You can use it at stoplights to slow down to a stop, whatever. But nobody's done that yet. They need to build like a an entry level car like an FRS or something like that, that's sub 30 grand, sub 35, somewhere in that, that's like a sporty, fun car, doesn't need to make a ton of power, just give it all those things. Make the essentially the next generation's Miata, essentially. You know, you need something that's light and fun. It doesn't need to get crazy mileage, you know, give it 150-mile range or whatever, you know, it doesn't need a big, huge battery. It just needs to give you that same experience that, you know, you're looking for when you want to go, you know, on a spirited drive, essentially.
It would be an interesting like test subject to see if that's something could sell, because
well, there's got to be. I mean, dude, like when I went to high school, if you had a WRX, you were the coolest guy in the world. You know, like that. There needs to be a car out there that is like not too expensive, that gives you that feeling, that is fast enough to where you still pull up to the parking lot in high school and everybody's like, oh, he's got that car, you know, those are cool, or whatever, you know, type thing.
Yeah. But do you think the electric market's ever going to be there? Right? Like,
I don't
think anyone's ever really going to look at it and look at like any, like, even if they did all the stuff you're talking about, right? You think anyone's ever going to look at that electric car and give it that same kind of fanfare that, you know, a Bug-Eye STI got, or a Camaro SS, or
probably like 10 years from now, 10, 20 years from now.
I sure will not.
Yeah. Fortunately, like the combustion engine is going to stick around for a while. They got mileage figured out pretty good with like the turbo and 8-speed transmission revolution, you know. Because like they didn't change a whole lot, but they improved the mileage to be comparative to, you know, hybrids and stuff like that by slapping an 8-speed on there. And, you know,
well, I mean, the mileage was never really all that bad if you really think about it. Like, think about like T56 LS cars, right? That's a double overdrive transmission. Those cars cruising around were capable of 26 to 28 miles to a gallon, which isn't really that hateful. The problem was that they were attached to an SS package or something like that, and everyone just kept their foot in it all the time. But like you could lug them and get the fuel mileage out.
Yep.
You know, the biggest thing now is like with the 8 speeds and the 10 speeds is like the trucks and stuff like that, right? Like now the truck market is finally in that sweet spot of fuel mileage, modifying them and doing all the stuff that we do.
Yep.
Well, us over here, not you guys. You guys aren't allowed to do all the cool stuff we can do.
No. I mean, we can. We just get sent to the ref for it.
Yeah, we don't have any of that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, dude, like everybody says that about California, and I'm like, I just remember Ross Petty having his freaking Stagia that was registered in California with an R34 front end, and he would daily drive that. Like, you know, it never got taken away.
How long ago was that?
That was a while ago, but I mean, we have S15s on the street. I saw an R34 the other day. You know, they're around. You know, but it's not as easy for like the average person to be like, I'm going to delete my def, or I'm going to put an exhaust on this thing, or whatever. You know,
it's not like what I'm doing here, where we're just deleting everything and nobody ever bats an eye or looks at it, because we don't have emissions, or like no one checks any of our stuff here, right?
That would be nice. Yeah, we need mufflers on airplanes. Though airplanes give out the most emissions out of anything. Airplanes and the big ships, and they have no mufflers. So I think
a muffler's not change emissions.
They should have a really shitty VQ sounding fart can on the back, so that planes sound like VQs now.
Jeez.
Yeah, they should. All of them. We'll make it a mandate, right? Every airplane has to run specifically an NVIDIA exhaust system.
Oh my god.
FIA approved, or FAA approved.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny though, because like, I mean, you see some of the smaller planes running some car engines, and it's like,
there's an LS powered Cessna out there. LSs have literally been put in everything. There's an LS powered Cessna. There's an LS powered snowmobile. There's LS powered motorcycles, boats.
You'd be surprised how popular the EJ powered planes are.
I bet you there's a train out there that's using an LS too. Yeah.
There's a bunch of rotary ones too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rotaries get put in a lot of stuff too. Rotary people are hardcore, man. They really like those engines.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they love them.
It's a small cult, you know. And they have like a good like symbol with the rotor, you know. Like they should really just make a church of the rotor, you know.
Yeah, right.
You only need 12. I think it's 12 followers to declare yourself as a church in the United States.
Dude, let's start the church of the rotor. Dude, our God will be Mr. Winkle.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fun. Yeah, no, I mean, but it's interesting, like you said, the changes over the years and what you would do to a car versus what you would have done, and how much harder it was to do drifting, basically in general. I mean, you didn't have the events, you didn't have the mechanical side or knowledge even there is today, and I mean, to me, I feel like that's the coolest part of the progression in the sport is how accessible it is for new people now. Yeah. And it's not perfect. I won't say it's perfect because there's especially when it comes to FD and like how complicated they make some of these things, like judging and whatnot. Like being a fan of like that side is, I feel like there's a lot of improvements that can be made. But like when it comes to actually learning what to do to a car, I mean it's not hard to get basic suspension settings. I mean you literally could ask like
anyone,
ChatGPT. And they'd probably pull up some solid settings for you.
I'm gonna ask them right now. I want to see what they say.
Yeah, you should ask it.
It's almost
to the Google AI. Yeah. How do I set up my E46 for drifting?
I'm curious, actually.
Yes, you can. I mean, focus on coilovers, angle kit, differential. It says weld it, and that's got an exclamation point behind it. So they really want you to weld it. Chassis reinforcement, subframe mounts, safety gear. Yeah, I mean, this is a good list. Tells you to get the hydro e-brake.
Ask it. It
even tells you to brace. It even tells you to brace the subframe because it's an E46 and they like to rip out of the car.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Ask it like alignment specs. That's what I'm curious about.
Oh, that's
how should I align my E46 for drifting?
Yeah, because it's like that was like I feel like
this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Aim for aggressive front toe out for quick turn in. Significant front camber like 6 or 7 degrees for grip. High caster for steering self centering and a bit of toe in for the mid drift stability with neutral to slight negative rear camber around negative 1.5 to 2.
We don't run that much. We don't run that much front camber anymore, though, do we? We're more around like 4 and 5.
Yeah, we're not that high now. Yeah.
Right? Like, that's one of the things I would say changed a lot from, like, the early days of drifting to now. If you guys remember, like, the earlier drifting days, we were all out here with, like, demon camber on the front of our cars, right? Like, 8, 9 degrees of front camber, like, extended LCAs on S13s that your buddy MIG welded together in his garage. And now we've all kind of, like, dialed it back a whole ton.
Yeah. There's different rules to thought on that. Like, if you're running a lot of camber, then you have a flatter wheel patch, you know, when you're at full angle. But you're not getting corner jacking. I'm kind of a fan of corner jacking because the more angle you put in the car, the more weight it puts on the rear, the more grip it gives to the rear. So when I hook my car in, you know, backwards or whatever, it's lifting the front up and putting weight on the back of the car where I need it and allowing the back of the car to gain a little bit more grip so it comes back around type thing. So... And yeah, some people like running a lot of camber. They like that, you know, that forklift style steering setup, you know, where it's just zero you know, as little camber changes you can get throughout the sweep of the steering. But yeah, and I think, we figured out a lot of stuff because I remember too in the beginning, like people like when people still first realized that, like, you know, they thought that was like the you know, the way to do it, or that was the golden ticket, was like, okay, camber it in, all right, we're here, you know. Then people started, oh well, corner jacking's kind of nice, you know, let's do that. And then it became a driver preference thing that you have, like, you know, oh, you need to weld your differential so it's locked 100% of the time, and some people like me, I like an LSD, you know. So a lot of it comes down to like driver preference. But I do remember, like, when each of those things came out, like everybody thought they were the golden ticket. You know, like, oh, he's doing that. He's doing really good. We need to do that too. When it was just, he wanted that for his driving style, you know, and we're not looking at how everybody else drives or their setups or the fact that they're running different chassis or whatever, or the geometry is different, you know. But some of that stuff sticks, you know, like a hydro e-brake or an angle kit or 1,000 horsepower, you know, those things that have been massive changes over the years, you know, those stick around. That's not a preference thing, you know, but,
you know what a change is that's kind of like overlooked? Think about how we used to like build the structures of our cars back in the day, right? Like we all kind of built cars as tanks to like take these massive impacts and not really get damaged, right? Versus now, like everything's designed like to crush and fail, and get thrown away. Build a new one. Like think about how flimsy the crash bars are on your car now versus the crash structures that were on the E30 or 2F, rear sections and panels and everything now. Like none of that used to exist. Like those were all like massive changes that really, in my opinion, completely changed the field.
Yep. I think that started with people making the articulating
the rollerblade wheel bars.
the rollerblade wheel bars, and Chelsea on that RX-8, he had the one with the coilover back there, and then FD kind of said that that's not very safe, which I agree upon, because if that bar does, say that coilover broke and the bar swung out, then you have literally something that could ram right through someone's door and impale them. So they really do need to be one solid piece. But like, yeah, I mean, I remember the first bash bar I made for the E30 was like 120 wall, 1 3/4 tubing, like this heavy, massive thing that like it wouldn't have bent the car. It wouldn't have bent the bar. It would have bent everything behind the bar,
Yeah, we built everything like a little bit too strong, and all it did was transfer energy to like the next weakest point.
It can't be stronger than what it's attached to, essentially.
No.
Now it's all built, like I have my, obviously I have a little bit of leeway in the crash bar. The crash bar isn't pushed right up against the bumper, so you have that leeway where it's going to break one of my bumper mounts. And then you have the crash bar behind that, which is like it's 060, like 1-inch tubing, I think, on those little winglets that I made. So that's going to fold. And then you have the main part of the bash bar, which is 1 1/4, I think, and that's 060 as well. So, but that's attached to 2 different points, so that's going to have a little bit more rigidity. That's going to fold, and then you have the main part of the chassis.
I mean, we've folded it before,
Yeah, but we haven't like push the whole thing, in.
We've tried.
Yeah,
for sure.
We bent it
just compresses.
Yeah. The main part of the tube, we bent it to the side, I think, once to where it was like really difficult to get in and out, and I had to build a new one. But yeah, it's having those layers of crashability that kind of protects them. And I mean, that's how the factory builds the cars. I mean, if you have ever cut up a car before,
they all have crush zones.
Yep. And then around the subframe, around the shock towers, you have thicker metal, more reinforcements, all that stuff. So, yeah, and like, there's a reason why frame rails bend. They're meant to do that. We learned that in the 1950s when, if you got in a crash in your 1950 Cadillac at 20 miles per hour and the steering column impaled you, and they're like, maybe we need to think this through, like maybe we shouldn't build tanks. So, I mean, they went through the same process, I guess. So I guess we're not that stupid,
Right.
If actual car companies went through the same process that we went through in drifting, building things just too damn strong, and then they realized how much energy that transfers to the human inside of the car,
Yeah, I would even, just from it's interesting, you talked about how crazy you guys had the camber and all that stuff and how crazy styling was back in the day. I would argue styling's kind of coming back, where they're making the kits and the overs now to where you can actually make the car look low. It doesn't necessarily be low. Kind of like your car is a great example of it.
Yeah.
Where your car isn't actually low, but the kit is low.
Yeah,
the front bumper is low.
Yeah, the rest of the
I would argue the rear bumper is pretty low for a pro car.
I can fit underneath the rear bumper with it on the ground.
That's because of the rake in the car. Okay, let's be honest.
But I think he's comparing it more to cut bumpers, like what Odie runs. And stuff like
not
that.
Even just that, but like there was an era that all the cars just seemed to be lifted up, and everyone was running monster trucks, and and I feel like there has been a return to form when it comes to styling cars and the importance of it, even at a performance level. I feel like
Yeah,
like
I think that falls under the category like I was talking about before. Like someone noticed that there was a car doing very well and it had a higher ride height, so this guy raised his ride height, and then that guy raised his ride height.
Like if you ever watch, like if you ever watch an FD Japan series, all those cars are like monster trucks. But if you go watch an FD, like regular FD in America, all the cars are lower than that. Or you go like you watch a Drift Masters, man. Those cars look fantastic.
The size tire that we're running makes us not have to be that low to make it look low. Like I got the 295 on the back, and it's like it'll tuck right under the fender when I get on the throttle. But like our coils are max height, like that's as high, that's as long as they get, and those are the long travel.
We would be higher if the coilovers would let us.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about it for several seasons now about doing a longer coilover just so we could go a little bit higher.
Get to the anti-spot zone. Yeah.
I mean, I think I could agree with Nate. Like you're seeing a little bit more style return, but at the same time, like, and this is solely my opinion. A lot of the cars look really stupid now because the tire sizing is getting absolutely ridiculous. Right? Like, we're starting to look like if you went to a drag strip in the early 2000s, right, and you saw like that kid that had the SR swap hatch that had MT radials on it, right? Like our cars are now looking like that car looked at a drag strip.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the tire, though.
Still pretty small, but the rear tires are massive, dude. They're insane. The tall sidewalls and everything else.
Yeah. It was never.
I remember when
designed to do that.
Adam was running the Nittos on the S15, and just how goofy it looked because, like the Mustangs kind of make it work, like they make it look kind of normal, but like
the Mustang's a big car.
Yeah, but seeing that tire on like anything else is kind of hilarious looking.
Mustang, Corvette, it looks all right. When you have a 295 on an FRS, it's like, what is happening in the world?
But even our car, right? Like so if the rear bumper is on our car, it's not that bad. Yeah. But if the rear bumper's off the car, like I can't remember it might have been the very first round we ran the 295s. Like I watched the car drive away with no rear bumper, and I was like, "Fuck, that looks super dumb."
I'm tired, dude. Like that is.
It was terrible looking.
Yeah. It just looks something that like shouldn't be done, Yeah,
it's just alien feeling.
Yeah. I would consider a 275 to be like a really big tire for any of those cars out there, other than the Mustangs and the Vets,
Right.
And it just
imagine how cool it would be if we regulated tire size.
Yeah, I mean we do based on weight, but it's
no.
Well, here's the problem though: is then everyone just wants the best compound. And right now I think there's a good happy medium.
But I think that just breeds innovation in the tire companies, right? Like at that point, it's up to you as the drivers to kind of push your sponsored tire.
Yeah, but here's my problem with that, because if it was all about innovation, Valino would be an FD. There's a lot of politics.
That's a whole nother topic for another time. Yeah, we're all aware of the politics of tires.
But I mean, it's still the same battle. Everyone's battling, to have the best compound out there. The majority of the field runs a 295.
Right, but you just can't have too good of a compound.
Yeah. I think are the Mustangs the only ones that are on a bigger than a 295?
I
think Kendo is 305 this year.
Yeah, Kendo's were 305 this year.
Everybody was running the 305.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for
interesting.
Except for probably Stuckey, right? Like because he did the light car small tire method.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, but I mean it's just it's interesting because it's like there's I feel like right now the tires are really competitive across the field.
I'm gonna grab my water real quick.
Well, and like I mean, like Kuma, right? Like that first year we were on Kuma, right? It was only the 275s, and we ran the whole season on them. And that entire year, us and Jeff were constantly in conversations with the Kumo engineers on what we were seeing out of the tire, what we would benefit from, how they could improve it. And then this year, when they rolled out the 295, that was a completely different compound, a completely different tire from what the 275 the year before was. And they went like in depth, like they did a lot of tire testing with other tire companies and seeing who was doing what was going on. And they engineered and built a competitive tire because they believed in the sport. And that's kind of where my mindset was at with like, if we limit some tire stuff, like now that we get to see true innovation between the tire company besides, okay, well, our compound's not that great, but we can just run like a 330 and it'll be okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I feel like Kenda did the same thing, and they had a rough first year, and then they brought out a real tire
Yeah, from my understanding, the 305 is a completely different compound than the previous year 295s and whatever other sizes they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, different compound. They added more rubber on the shoulder of it. They changed up the nylon string they put in the tire so it didn't come apart and string out. Yeah, they did.
It's crazy how complicated some of this stuff gets.
Yeah, I mean they had to make a whole new mold and a whole new assembly process basically for us, you know. And that
you don't know how complicated it can get until you actually talk to the engineers. It's pretty crazy how in depth it actually gets.
They did a footprint of the tire, which is basically like if you did a fingerprint, you know. So they have the tire, they cover it in ink, they put it up to the pressures that we wanted and on the wheel that we wanted with the weight of our car on the tire. And they put that down on a piece of paper or whatever and get the actual imprint of how it's sitting at the pressures that we would run it, you know, at the size we run it with the weight that we have. So like they did a lot, you know, when you really think about it. Like that's a lot of man hours. That's a lot of, you know, changing tooling to change the shape of the tire for us and add more rubber, and then the assembly process of where they're putting the cord in there, how they're laying it down, what type of cord are they using, you know, all that stuff. It was a cool process to actually meet the people that, you know, are behind all this, you know. Very smart individuals and very willing to help, and that was it was a cool experience to go through.
That's awesome. Yeah. We did get a couple questions in the chat. Sorry. And so I wanted to ask a couple of them. Well, first one was asked. AK47 boy asks, "Where's the bald man? He is in Japan. He will be back hopefully in 2 weeks.
Leave him
there." Where is it? Random. From Cody. Random. Are we ever going to see Hateley at Drifters of December?
Where's Drifters of December?
It's at Summit Point, Full. It's the event that me and Dustin ran that all I did was break Dustin's car at Summit Point.
Probably not, because I live in Los Angeles and
he's scared. He's afraid to come to the biggest drift event in the U.S. for sure.
You guys had more than Winter Jam?
I'm not actually sure, but it was like I think it was 410 drivers.
Yeah, Dan Savage was telling me about it and how insane it is. That could be bigger.
I'm not sure. Farouk posted a thing that their total count it was high 3s or low 4s, I forget.
Yeah, but as Cody said in there's a cave at Summit Point that you can go spelunking in, and it's worth it. A cave. We literally went spelunking at Summit Point at the racetrack on the racetrack.
Oh, that's wow! Cool.
There's mines out at Willow. We used to go in.
Yeah, the mines. Willow doesn't allow drifting anymore, so it's kind of a moot point.
This is true. But you can go play around in the mines. Yeah.
AK47 boy says, "I just don't like how everyone runs the same 4 cars," and I don't know. I mean, like I feel like there's still creativity. I feel like as a motorsport, it's the most creative of the top motorsports out there in terms of chassis and.
I mean, you see a lot of redundancy for sure, right? Yeah. But you still have plenty of oddball cars that are decent contenders, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of E46s or E chassis or whatever, but you still have oddballs like Federico in the Ferrari. You had Darren Kelly in the Aston Martin.
There's a Corolla.
I mean, it's better than it used to be, dude. It used to be literally 99% S13, S14, and that's all you saw on the grid. And now everybody grew out of their S chassis, and they all got E chassis.
Yeah, and I mean, there's still S chassis out there. I call them
posers because I've been an E chassis guy for a very long time now.
Yeah, but you were a 350Z chassis guy originally, so is it really fair to call them posers? Yeah.
I decline to answer that question. Yeah.
That's true.
No, my buddy Chris that crashed that motorcycle is actually the dude that got me into E30s because we used to go up to the canyons and mess around. And he had an E30 Etta with Turner J stock, gutted, super fucking sick car. It was 2,200 pounds.
Yeah. And
made 80 horsepower. And my other buddy had a Evo X. I think that's the one. That's the one without the wing?
Evo. Well, an Evo X is an Evo 10.
Evo 10.
Oh no. What was the Evo that when they first came out? Yeah, MR. Yeah, he had one of those.
MR. Yeah.
And homie, my Chris in the E30 would be running with us in the canyons when he's running against a 350Z and an Evo. So that's what originally like impressed me about the E30. I was like, how is he able to keep up with us? Like, no power steering, fucking 80 horsepower, just this weird little shoebox car. And I was sold. I got one as a daily, and then I was like, I want to build one of these because I wanted to build something relatively. They're not cheap now, but they were cheap back then. Relatively cheap for my first build, so that if I messed anything up, I could just get rid of the chassis and start over or whatever.
Right.
Because I was, like I said, I was learning how to weld. I was learning how to do everything. So
he didn't do any of that. That may have been his original intention, but he became wildly in love with the car.
Yeah, that was my original intention. Yes. It was more so that I wouldn't mess up driving it. I was more worried about messing up building it for some reason because I had never like built a car before.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I originally got into that build, and then it kind of snowballed into 7 years of driving the wrong car. Basically.
Yeah. Another question from Cody: is there a regulation on compound for like FD and stuff?
As long as it's DOT approved, I think. No, each tire goes.
Right?
Yeah, but also DOT, you can't run a race tire or whatever. Yeah, 200 tread wear, and I think each tire has to be approved by Kevin, basically. Correct. So he's got to inspect the tire himself to make sure there's no funny stuff going on.
And I believe there's a buy-in, if I'm not mistaken.
There is a buy-in.
There is a buy-in. Yeah, you got to buy into it for sure.
Yeah, $47. Yeah.
You probably got to add some zeros to that if I.
Yeah. But so it's that's why you don't see a whole bunch of tires, because there's a bunch of 200 treadwear tires that could theoretically work, but you have to buy into the series, and that's where
it's not only the buy-in though. A lot of those tires don't like they haven't paid to have the DOT approval in the US.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother cost in and of itself, just to have those 3 little stamped letters on your tire.
Yeah.
And without it, like, since you're not a DOT tire, you can't be an FD. It has to be a tire that's DOT approved.
Yeah. Yep. That's become an issue with a couple tires over the years. That they tried to bring in, or they brought them in for a little while, and then they didn't get the DOT on time or stuff like that. And it just, it becomes an issue. But yeah, it would be nice to see more tire companies. But I mean, we got some good ones in right now. I feel like everyone that's in right now is really dedicated to the sport and dedicated to giving their drivers what they need to succeed. So that's a good thing. I'd rather have that than a whole bunch of tire companies that don't give a shit, you know?
100%.
I'd like to see Valino come in personally.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want that.
I'd love to see the carnage that ensues from how grippy that tire is. Or Zek Nova for that matter. Like I've done a lot of driving on the Zeks recently, and like that's a pretty solid tire, man.
Yeah. They're not going to be collecting body parts from the side of the track. They're going to be collecting quick change diffs.
Well, if
pushing them to the side.
Right.
Or honestly, or that Zek, dude, that JR 500 thing. That's what grenaded Dustin's quick change.
Oh wow.
Yeah, shredded that thing.
How was battling Odie 6 times this year?
Honestly, like, I liked it because I got to learn him, you know? It wasn't like each battle that I went into with him, like, it got easier as it went on because I, figured out his driving style. I figured out, him a little bit more. And, yeah, like, the one more time we got in Jersey with him, that felt like winning,
Yeah.
Honestly, because, like, Odie is a hell of a driver. He's got a hell of a car.
Yeah.
He knows his setup. Awesome. And, to be able to give him one more time was like, oh, shit, like, we're learning here, And then St. Louis, we beat him. But, I mean, realistically, he beat himself.
Yeah.
Good times. Good dude. I like driving with people that, like, I can go up to afterwards and just shoot the shit and rap with, and either tell them congratulations or they can tell me congratulations or whatever.
Do you think we were more tired of seeing Odie's name, or Odie was more tired of seeing our name?
I think he was more tired of seeing our name. I don't know. Because he like the first couple times for sure, he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this in the bag." Like he's an easy win, you know. And then in Jersey, we had, you know, you can't really use the 1,000 horsepower to run away in Jersey, so I had at least like an even playing field of a track, and it was just up to me. And you know, we got the one more time, and I mean, we Jersey did
Jersey was where Odie flat out was like, "Your guys' car is fast."
Yeah. I mean, he told me that in Atlanta too, like going up the hill. You know, when I threw the freaking threw the angle too early or whatever. That he was like, "Dude, your car's really fast when you get on it," and I'm like, "Damn, thank you." Like that tells me something that I set up right, because like when I got that, because I'm running fields on my car, and like when I ordered him, he's like, "Yeah, normally we give them with like 5Ks or whatever." And I like a pretty soft like rear suspension, so I was like, "Give me 4s." So he gave me 4Ks, and like we're not running a rear sway bar right now. Like we're basically running like what a 1,000 horsepower car would probably run in the wet as far as setup. You know, like a lot of body roll in the back and soft, and let the rear suspension do its thing. Really stiff up front. I mean, you've seen it in the videos, us lifting tire like crazy.
Yep.
That one shot at Salt Lake of the tire, you know, lifting and like touching I was so happy when I saw that. I was like, oh, this is like, it was so close to being like locked on the wheel. It was like not that much work to draw my X's and Premiere and like keep it in the one spot and keep sliding my keyframes around to keep it dead center the entire time it's coming across. So like
it's a cool because like there's a bunch of people that would just their front right wheel would just not move the entire corner. It's just like wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I like seeing that.
Yeah, I mean the reason I brought up Odie because there was actually a question. What are you guys' thoughts on Odie leaving the S15, or it would be a 14, right? Was it an S15 or a 14?
Torn. It was a 14. Well, no, the last car was a 15, right?
I don't know.
It looks like a 15, but I know he obviously has the conversions on that.
I think he ran. Yeah, I think he ran the 14 this year, but he ran the 15 last year or something like that.
Oh, that might be it.
You have to ask Tanner. Tanner knows all that stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, thoughts on him
but
changing?
Realistically, a 14 and a 15 are basically the same exact car.
You get just
different
cool
bodies.
points. Cool points and JDM, you know, hot boy points are different, but it's the same shit. But I don't know. I mean, he's an incredible driver. I'd like to see what he does with the chassis because, like, he's probably. I'm the most interested to see what he does with it because that chassis is you know, it's been good, but it hasn't been this breakout crazy chassis that everyone wants, you know. So I'm interested to see what happens there. I don't know if it's a good move or not. Like, he was so consistent in the 14-15 chassis. I just felt like he needed like a little bit of luck to be on his side to just straight blow through everybody and win the championship, you know.
He was the guy I picked to win last year.
I mean, it's not a bad pick. Yeah.
You were driving last year, and I still picked him to win.
I know. Well, you know what I'm saying. Like, he was like the guy that was like always like that bridesmaid, and I was like, okay, so he's running his own program last year, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm kind of partial on that. I'm kind of on the fence.
I think Odie knows what he's doing, and he's pretty intelligent.
Yeah, it's true. This is true, but I mean,
I think he's seeing a lot of what's going on with that chassis right now.
Yeah.
Right? And he must see some kind of promise in it to make such a drastic change, right? Like, he's a pretty calculated guy. So
I know he tested one.
Well, there's got to be a nice checkbook waiting with it or something, because like you said, like that's not like him to make such a drastic change like that.
It isn't. I mean, he drove that Genesis for a few years and didn't do.
Right, but that was a ride and drive. I'm pretty sure, if I remember.
Because he's Odie, you know. But you know, he went back to the S chassis. But yeah, you're kind of right in the fact that like you should expect him to know what the hell he's doing and have all his research done and all that stuff. And who knows? Maybe he's got a trick up his sleeve. Maybe like WiseFab's coming out with something new for the car or whatever. But I mean, I know that he drove one that is a really nice one that's V8 powered, dog box, quick change, all that, and he drove that at AVS recently, and he really liked it. So he's done his
maybe he's gonna come come out to Long Beach swinging, dude. Just big wing in the locker room.
I guess I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit of a downer. I think we just lost the championship competitor.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Name me a guy that's came into a new chassis and has.
You want to play the fun wager game? I'll put $50 saying he finishes in the top 5 first round.
I would do top 3. I would do a wager on top 3. He won't be in there.
What you want? I feel like top 5 is a pretty fair, spot to be on that. Personally.
I honestly, I think I would take that. I would take that. Honestly, yeah, I would take that.
How many cheeseburgers are you guys betting?
$50.
There you go. $50. Let's go.
Come on. You want to
hold your hand up? You got to shake.
Yeah, come on, shake on it, bud.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
Like, I feel bad because I love Odie, and Odie's going to come on later on, and then he's going to talk about it. But name me a person that has switched to a new chassis and has been like top of the box or like top of the championship.
James Dean.
It took him a year.
Really?
Andy literally came out in a new chassis in Pro Spec and was top of the box first round.
Yeah, well, that's because he drove an E30, so that's.
It's a completely different chassis, dude. Like I'm just saying. You said name one, and now you're putting parameters on it.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. Like, you know how hard it is to come in with a new car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
how many years did it take Matt Field to be like super competitive? How many years did it take? It took Dean a full year to get used to the Mustang.
Yeah, but the Mustang's an anomaly. I don't think that's a good example.
That's
every single person that's
how long did it take Jerry Yang to make those FRSs competitive? Or BRZs?
Okay, but Jerry Yang was the first one that really invested the true time into trying making one of those competitive.
Yeah. So
he stuck it out through thick and thin with that chassis.
Yeah, and that engine. Surprisingly,
yeah,
wild boy.
I think Odie is too calculated to take that big of a risk, personally.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I can't wait to take your $50.
Dude, I would be stoked. I honestly, I'd be stoked to lose $50 that way. But if
Odie sees this
there's too
when
many
he comes on the
things.
show, right? Remember who was against you. Right?
Yeah.
It's the host of the show.
No, I'll bring it up to him too. I'll be like,
that's common.
I have $50 on you not being in the top 5 next year.
Cody's gonna send Curtis a fruit basket. Watch.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. It should be fun. Celine Drift asks, and I guess this is kind of like the good final question here because we've been going for 2 hours. But what are you guys excited for next year? There's got to be something cool.
Oh, what are we excited for?
Yeah.
Oh.
New tracks.
Yeah.
Vegas
is fun. Vegas is fun.
Vegas sounds exciting. I don't know how I feel about all the other stuff. Like, Indy's nifty, I guess, but like,
would you take Indy or St. Louis? That's the question.
Here's the thing. So I work on the car, right? And so I actually really like St. Louis because we got that really beautiful covered parking area with smooth level concrete that we could go over there. Like I think it was this year.
We've got
Wednesday
power.
night,
We've got TVs.
Dude, yeah, like Wednesday night, I was over there for like 2.5 hours, just like jamming out with music, working on the car, having the time of my life all by myself out there. Yeah. And so I actually really like St. Louis. That's the only part I like. Everything else about St. Louis sucks. If you live there, seek therapy. I don't know, but like
it's true.
That part was great.
But if you're looking for good food near the track, which is hard to come by, I finally found it. There's a place called Rise and Shine. It's about 2-3 miles away.
Okay.
And it is delicious. It's
not like
I'll go find that.
Not the prettiest location, but Rise and Shine. Check it out.
What kind of food?
Just random like diner kind of style food. Yeah. But
it was like a bodega or something like that.
Pretty much. It's like a bodega / restaurant.
Kind of ghetto and like weird, but it was like incredible prices, really good food.
Yeah. Yeah, like we fed like the whole team for like $50 or something like that.
I don't even think it was that, dude. I think it was like $36 or something. It was like 7 people for $36.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Yeah, and it's right there, and you can buy laundry detergent there too if you need it. You can buy. It's literally like a bodega as well as like a restaurant, and pretty awesome. good spot.
That's cool.
Because St. Louis is lacking on the food. We end up eating White Castle like almost every night because we get out of the track at like midnight and nothing's open anywhere and we're all tired.
Everyone just goes to the Taco Bell across the street.
We went to the Waffle House that one time and it was the worst Waffle House I've ever had.
Yeah. The Freddy's was pretty good. We went to Freddy's and we saw your doppelganger there that was like, "Yo, I met you at the track," or whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We saw the homie there. Yeah.
That's good.
So, well, now we don't get to go there. We're gonna have to find all new places to go in Indy, right? Like,
yeah, hopefully it's better.
We'll see.
I'm hoping we should start looking now, though. We should plan that out.
Yeah. Probably. We won't, but we should.
Yeah.
We won't, but we should. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like you get there and you guys are working on the car until like 10 o'clock at night, and you guys are finally done. You're like, okay, now we need to go find somewhere to eat.
Yep.
I'll just do what I always do, which is live off of deli turkey cheese slices, and then you wrap a pepperoncini inside of that, and you just eat that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what I live off of all year at the track. is meat rolls with pepperoncinis inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good.
Awesome. We've literally bought stuff for sandwiches in St. Louis and like made sandwiches in the hotel before because it's like nothing's open, and if they are open, it's going to be shit either way. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. White Castle's not the best thing to put in your body when you got to go sit in a 120-degree race car the next day.
Nope.
6 hours later or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. No, that's an accident waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm. But I haven't pooped in the car yet, so, you know.
He peed in it this year. Don't let him lie to you, dude. The seat was like soaked with a mysterious substance. It was really weird, man. He definitely fucking pissed himself.
But or pee? Which one was it? I don't remember.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it was, but it was the seat was dangerously wet, as was the rest of your body. So
maybe that's where the coolant's going.
Oh, dude, could be.
Yeah. I still don't know how we ended up with water in the cylinder before Long Beach. I just tested the supercharger coolers today, and they didn't leak. So somehow we got a bunch of water in cylinder 2, I think it is.
And you're not
2 or 3
or anything like that. But
what if the coilover bandit has advanced to putting water in cylinders?
I'd be impressed. That takes some work. Yeah.
Yeah, like really deep dove it and just like pulled a plug, funneled some water in there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd just be impressed. Yeah. But we ran it like that. The engine's all torn apart at Tom's shop, and it's actually not that bad when you look at it with the inspection camera. Because I was checking it out before Long Beach. Like, that cylinder had it looked really. I sent you pictures of it.
Yeah, it looked really bad.
So when you go and run your finger across that now, it's buttery smooth, and that's
because we ran it.
But that's above where the piston stopped.
Oh, well.
So, it didn't get sanded down by the rings, and it's still, but I think the camera just makes it look that much worse because it's reflecting, and it looked like pitted, shitty rust, and the piston was at the bottom of the cylinder, and all the cylinder wall was looking shitty, so, but, this guy recommended I put some Marvel Mystery Oil in there. I did that, cranked it over a few times, started it, and it ran through Long Beach just fine, and the piston wall at the bottom, the rings just sanded off all the rust, and it looks great. So self-clearancing,
Marvel Mystery Oil wins again.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. Yeah, it smells good too. It smells like wintergreen or some shit.
Yeah. It smells like it would taste delicious, but
it does.
I'm not saying you should drink it, but
I'm not saying
it might be good. It might be good.
I mean, it's like a mouthwash. I mean, you're not supposed to drink mouthwash. Just swish it around, spit it out.
I guess you could mouthwash with Marvel.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Somebody give that a try, and then hit me up on Instagram. Let me know how it went.
I'll call you back in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
I still got the bottle in there. It's good to go. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Of course.
It was a fun time.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
no problem.
It's always a good time having you guys.
Yeah.
You guys gave me some good clickbait to put out there. So.
Yeah.
Oh God.
What do you got? Were you marking your timelines as we went along? Or
I
what?
should, dude. I just kind of take markers in my head. I'm excited to post the $50 bet one. We'll see. Tag Odie.
I can't. You know, I'm telling you, look, I'm gonna hunt you down when it happens, dude. I'm gonna come find you. It's gonna be like the mob, right? When you owe a bookie money, I'm gonna shake you down and everything.
Yeah. All right. I have the defense that I picked him last year to win, so like, I'm not mean. I'm just like realistic. I'm like every time it takes everyone a year, in my opinion, to get to grips with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I won't be surprised by the end of the year that he's in like top fours and podiums and possibly winning event. But at the end of the year, I just there's always pitfalls with one, a new car, and then two, a new chassis.
Mm-hmm. Your reasoning is sound for sure. I'm putting a lot of faith in Odie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but that's what makes betting fun. That's what makes all this interesting and enjoyable. Is taking that risk, and like if it pays off, I get to talk trash to you for like at least the next year about it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Don't worry, I won't let you live it down though. Although
I want to see you guys bet at every round though, and just keep swapping that $50 back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Whoever gets it at the end of the season is the winner. So each round, you guys have to have a $50 bet.
We can play a let it ride with like increasingly oddball bets. Right?
Yeah, now we're starting to get into the weeds here. So
Dude,
now we're gonna get in trouble here because eventually $50 becomes $100 becomes $200. You know how it goes, and then it's just
hey, that's part of the fun, dude. That's gambling.
Yeah, let's go gambling.
I'm not good at that. Every time I go gambling, I lose.
Awesome, guys. I like I said, I wanted to thank you for coming on. Real quick, where can they find you? What are you working on at the moment?
Go for it, Curtis.
Okay. Same as last time. You got Curtis K1 Built on Instagram. It's the easiest way to find me and see what I'm up to.
Yeah, you hear the sirens in the background coming for you. So.
Yeah, don't mind those, just still working on cars and stuff. We have a big event coming up in March that everyone should check out. Go on Instagram and check out Spring Break Drift Party. Look into it. Come out, party at Mid Pond, see the wildest side of drifting you've ever seen.
Where is that? Just should I look that up on the Facebook or
Instagram? Well, it's on Facebook too, but look up specifically the tag, just Spring Break Drift Party. That's us. We're trying to build the Instagram up right now because we slacked off for the past 7 years and never actually made one. But now we're kind of like recapping all the things we've done in past years and showcasing drivers that are coming to drive and all that kind of stuff. And it's literally just 3 days of everything that you shouldn't have on videotape happening at a racetrack with drifting.
It sounds like a good time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's yeah. It's a wild time for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, check that out for sure, especially if you're in the area. And Andy, yeah.
Hi. You should check out my new website. It's called curtishasStinkyfarts.com. Good one. No, it's Hateley Drift everywhere. I'm gonna try and start doing more YouTube stuff this year again. That one I think that's Hateley Drift 2 or Andy Hateley. I think it's Andy Hateley. And then the website, thedriftwizard.com, if you're looking for these things or other Drift Wizard related items. And I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, and go to Spring Break Drift Party. Yeah. Do that. Show up with a Z31 chassis on some gangster 3-piece JDM super expensive wheels and have all your body panels be different colors, and Curtis will love you for it.
No, the problem isn't gangster wheels. Like, we love gangster wheels. The problem is black wheels.
Okay, so black, like welds or Graham lights or whatever, You can
show up with a Z31 all you want, but you will not be allowed in the gate. Like, we'll show up.
Why do you hate that chassis so much? What's the deal?
Originally, it was mostly a joke with a little bit of truth, but like the real side of it is the Z31s are god awful looking cars. Like, they don't look good. They have terrible engines in them, and they're trailing arm. There's just no redeeming quality.
They're trailing arm, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're just like the S12, the 200 SX. So they're god awful cars. Black wheels are tacky, and drift cars should look good. So stop bringing computer mouses that are 18 different colors and no bumpers.
So you should bring a computer mouse that's 18 different colors and no bumpers, and watch Curtis get really mad. But you got to film it. Yeah.
I'm not going to get mad. We just won't let you in.
Yeah.
So does Z31 include the like newer style 300ZXs?
No. Z30. See, that's a Z32.
Okay,
right?
Z32. Gotcha.
Z32s are a magical, beautiful creature. They're completely welcome. There's a kid that comes almost every year with an SR swapped one, and it is a gorgeous car, and we're a big fan of them. Specifically, the Z31 is not allowed. We have 3 rules. 3. Make your car look decent. No Z31s. No black wheels. That's it.
Okay.
So someone needs to go, with like a really nice car, right? But bring all the mist-colored panels with you in your trailer and some black wheels, and then just swap everything out like midday.
Oh, that'd be great.
Watch Curtis.
That would be. I'm not going to lose my mind. I don't.
Be dedicated.
Honestly, by about midday, I'm probably blackout drunk anyways. So like, I'll be having way too good of a time to care about you trying to rage bait me.
100%. Awesome, guys. Well, I want to say thank you for coming on, and no, this is fun, and I have another DDMRL video coming out tomorrow. That'll be featuring my first time tandeming. So it'll be a fun little video.
Yeah, it's cool to see you drive, man.
Look at old Nate growing up, dude.
I know. He's turning into it. He's not going to film anymore. He's just going to go drive all that.
I wish, dude. I wish I could do that. Yeah. But so that'll be a fun video. I'm kind of balancing out how I still want to do all of it, but I have a lot of it done, and I think it'll be pretty cool for a lot of people like me that are kind of new to some of this stuff and kind of some of the struggles that I go through.
Yeah, it's a learning process
and learning how to.
It really is.
And it's like you can do it in the sim, obviously, but when you are behind a real car that's in front of you and you're chasing it, like it's a serious difference because like you like don't want to hit them, but you also don't want to look like a dumbass and be like 10 feet away, and it's like so how do we do this, and playing with all 3 pedals and all that kind of stuff. So it's
you just gotta bump them, dude. Just get it out of the way. It's just part
honestly
of it.
Yeah,
but I like the way my car looks, and I'm like, I don't want to.
It's the same thing.
Go home and fix it.
It's the same thing as like driving at a track with a wall. Like as soon as you like give it that little bump, you're like, yeah, fuck that wall. And then you feel comfortable putting it on the wall every time. But like if you're not, you get that little bump and you're like, that wasn't that bad. Like it's a scratch. Like it's not even a big deal. The bumper's still on or whatever. Like I did that.
Don't go out there and like clobber him, but like just go out there, get some taps in and be like, oh, okay, maybe I need to be a little bit less aggressive, and then before you know it, you'll be jamming with everybody.
Yeah, 100%. No, like I said, I had a really good time, and hopefully people enjoy that. Also been posting a lot of just raw content from FD this year. That's going to continue basically up until the season. And have a couple other little things that I'll be working on as well. But those are the 2 main things coming out on the channel right now. So thank you guys for checking out the series. There's going to be a couple clips coming out from this. That was the other thing. I'm going to start clipping a lot more of this stuff as well. So you guys will see some fun stuff on the internet. But again, thank you guys.